Welcome to In a Minute. We are reading through the Bible book of John, one chapter a day, 5 days a week. There's 21 chapters in John, so that means that we will read the entire book in about 4 weeks. Today, we're in chapter 3. Chapter 3 opens with a nighttime encounter with a Pharisee. The Pharisees were religious leaders in the time of Christ, and they were devoted to the exact practice of the Old Testament law. When they started out, their intent was good. But over time, they had become legalistic, and they added many man-made traditions. This caused them to become arrogant and self-righteous. And it was this exact legalism and hypocrisy that brought them into conflict with the love and mercy of Christ and his message. Nicodemus was a Pharisee who seemed to be genuinely interested in what Jesus had to say. He comes to Jesus at night, and he takes Jesus' statement about rebirth literally. Jesus has to explain to him that he was speaking about the work of God's Spirit. Becoming a part of God's kingdom is a radical new beginning. Jesus goes on to explain by using an illustration from the time of Moses, and this event is recorded in the Old Testament book of Numbers, chapter 21, verses 4 through 9. Nicodemus would have been familiar with the story. Jesus was saying that those who look to Christ and believe would live. And this leads to perhaps the most familiar verse in the Bible, John 3:16. It could be said that John 3:16 and 17 is the heart of the gospel of Christ. Now stay tuned. This is not the last time that Nicodemus shows up in the book of John. At the end of chapter 3, we see John the Baptist's loyal disciples are concerned that he is losing popularity. John is not jealous or envious. He's joyful because he has been obedient to his assignment, and now Christ must increase. It's interesting that John the Baptist's words to his disciples in verse 36 mirrors Jesus' words to Nicodemus in verse 16. All who believe in Christ will live. As we read chapter 3 today, it becomes apparent that Jesus' appearance and ministry was stirring things up. It was messing with the status quo in people's lives. Christ was causing them to really think about things and ask questions. Do you still think that happens today? Now, I know that that's a rhetorical question, and the answer is yes. But as we read today, why don't we let his word challenge us to grow, explore, and ask questions, and continually renew our thinking?